Hello everyone, this is Grid Zeta, or Zeta for short, formerly known as Skyhound 008. And first off, I just want to say, in case you're wondering why I decided to do a review on this graphic novel, pretty simple. One, I like Time Force, and two, it's also a really great season because of the writing, the characters, among other factors. Now, for those of you that are wondering, this is actually a sequel to the show itself, as some of the actors have pointed out. I'm pretty sure Mr. Jason Font has mentioned about it a few times, somewhere on his Instagram. I should let you know that this review will contain spoilers as I am going through the full in-depth review, which include my own personal thoughts on the matter. So that being said, you guys have been warned. Don't say you haven't been warned because I just said it a few seconds ago. That being said, I'm going to try to divide this into 3 parts. So regarding Act 1, you see that when you start off, you get a bit of voice dialogue by Jen Scotts with regards to what she went through as Time Force. And I should let you know here, this particular, I wouldn't say cell, but more like page. Specifically, I would say just the first page alone. There's a repeat on this, and I will get back to that shortly. But here, she is trying to train in terms of like going for another job. But prior to that, her boyfriend Wes and his partner Eric are trying to keep the peace post Rancic. But unfortunately, due to the robots kind of like coming in big numbers and being guideless without fracs, she has to step in. And the fact of the matter is, it seems to go well. And knowingly she can only be there for a short time, the two decide to go out and have lunch. Now, as much as I want to elaborate on this a little bit, and I will say this much, the writers did a pretty good job. If you want to take a pause and look into it right now, go ahead and then, get back to it when you have the time. That being said, she has to go back and report in. Now, the interesting thing was with this, she's reflecting on the fact that, could they make this long distance relationship work? And before I go any further, there is a lot of references to Hyperforce. Number 1, you can sort of see it on the badge here by Commander Logan. But I will say this, it has a few references to it. So I turn to the next page here. See, she's trying to go for the command position, but that's just one facet of the Hyperforce realm. And here is one clear indicator, this symbol. But the commander and Jen both have different viewpoints in terms of her trying to make the long-term distance relationship work. And unfortunately, as she tries to break the news to Wes, I will say this much, it doesn't go as planned. So I will try to let you guys try to read most of it as you can, but they try to make it work. They try to make this date thing work until Jen senses something out of the ordinary. And here is where we get this introduction to Time Force Black. Now, I should let you know, real quick, I did hear about it before this comic came out, that there was a Time Force Black. But there are a few things that I kind of knew. If you look here on this image, I pretty much knew that it was actually female. And for those of you guys that are going to point out the obvious, as I am, if you're going to just make stupid comments and not get my point, Please, for the love of the morphing grid, shut it. Back to what I'm saying here about how I knew Time Force Black is female. Anatomy is 1. That's one bit. Here on the second page, right as I turn here, you can sort of see here, again, I gotta say anatomy. And 2, it looks a bit tomboyish, but at the same time, as you can see between here on this picture and here with Jen, you can see that on the female side, they have a bit of a skirt. That being said, with Super Sentai, there are female Rangers that have had skirts on them in terms of the design. So 1, it's not as far-fetched as one would think. Number 2, with regards to gender swapping certain characters, like Yellow for example, as it was with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, those of you who know your Ranger history know exactly what I'm talking about. It's not as common because it started with America. That being said, this first half of Act 1, it didn't go so well, as you can sort of see. Jen has to point out to us that they need to break it off. And despite her efforts, she missed her window to report back in, and as she's about to find out, it doesn't go as well as she would like. So that being said, I will get to the start, or at least the end of Act 1, which is she goes back, tries to find her friend's apartment, gets attacked, and is forced to take drastic measures. That being said, I will end this first part here, a quick summary of Act 1 in terms of my viewpoint on it. That being said, hope you guys enjoyed it. This is Grid Zeta, signing off for now. Enjoy part 2 when it comes up, and may the power protect you.